All right, welcome to another exciting day of business intelligence. Today we're going to start with a game review. That'll be this video, and then I'll record a different video for the starting with Chapter 10. I do not believe we'll get to it all today, so look for another video posted on Thursday. Project 1 is due tonight. In terms of submission, there is no submission. Okay, I'm going to log into your VM. I gave you all your passwords after all, so I know them all. And be able to look at that information and to be able to grade it, okay? And so that made some of you uneasy that there wasn't a submission. So I reserve the right to be up with my baby at midnight and start grading them Eastern time today, okay?
So what about the rubric? We have to email you.
Oh shoot. Okay, so you're saying down here the rubric. Were there any instructions regarding the rubric? Not for this class, not for this project. For other classes, for other projects, I've required the students to fill out the rubric. Since there was no submission, I didn't include that here. But the exercise is still worth it to go through and fill out the rubric on your own, but not submit it. Because it pains me when a student does a great job, but I have posted this rubric, which means I am obligated to follow the rubric. And that's good because it's kind of like a contract. Like, this is how I'm going to grade you. And so you don't want me just grading like, you used the wrong colors. You know, it's like, what? That wasn't even in the rubric. You know, I'm not going to do that. But on the other hand, it pains me when someone obviously did a really good job, but they didn't follow the rubric, and so I can't give them points whereas I want to, okay? And contrary maybe to how you feel, I do want to give you points, as many as I can that you're deserving, okay? And so I published the rubric so that you know, so that we're on the same page. There's two parts to school. There's getting the grades, there's getting the points, and there's learning the material. Both are important, okay? All right, any other overhead, administrative, announcement questions?
If you run the SQL data tools in the administrator mode and the normal mode, is there any difference?
If you run it in administrator mode or you don't, yes, there is some difference in some of the tasks that you do to be able to have the right credentials when accessing information. Okay, so it's a good habit to be in for the purposes of our setup. Now, if you're at a company, maybe some of the online students, for example, are already working at a company, that might not be the working procedure where you are, but for our setup, that's what we need to do. Okay? Thank you for the question. Okay, are there any other questions? Was there a question?
What happened is, like, in SQL management server, I could do the right click and run as administrator. But when I do the same for SQL data tools, I could, like, it says pin to the taskbar. It doesn't show run as an administrator.
Will you send me an email, please? That surprises me. And which means I'll forward it to somebody that can handle it. I can't make those changes, but let me look into that. That really.
Correct me, like, how I can do it.
Okay, but yes, please send me that and let me experience it. Okay. All right. Let game day begin. Okay, I will. We're gonna do the questions in order. They are numbered so that you don't have to be focused on capturing the question. Oh, let me rephrase it. I will email both sections the questions, but not the answers. Okay? And so, and they are numbered such that you can just write down 1, 2, and then it's like, oh yeah, I wrote that one, I know that one. Or it's, whoa, that really, I thought the answer was different. I better look into that, make sure I can answer that. So the purpose of this isn't to have a game. It's to verify what you know and don't know so that you can be well positioned for the midterm. It's amazing if you take a practice test, it's like, oh yeah, I know it, it's in my head, and then you go to write it, and it's like, oh, okay, well maybe it's not all there. So it either validates that you know the information, or it exposes areas of which need reinforcement, okay? So having said that, if we have a question about a question, then let's definitely pause, discuss it before moving on, because the point isn't to get through all of these. The point is to reinforce the learning that is taking place and put you in a good position for the midterm. In terms of the midterm, I hope to post it today. When's it going to close? Saturday. Okay. Any questions about that?
It's like a quiz, or how it is?
It'll be like a quiz. It will not require proctoring.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have it proctored, you could.
I have no idea.
Okay. But it's going to be closed book, closed note, closed internet, closed neighbor type of a situation. Okay. All right. Ready? Let the games begin. Okay. Question number 1. I'm looking for hands to go up.
Please increase the size of the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Better? Yes.
See.
Which one? C is correct. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. I will keep track on my laptop screen. The score. Okay. Question number 2. I gotta see a hand. That is correct. You know, the other teams are allowed to answer. Just want to be sure. Okay, number 3. Which one? C?
Option A, any tool with many diverse functions.
Yes, so a Swiss Army knife, while not all... Anybody own a Swiss Army knife? Okay. You a Boy Scout? Okay. You own a Swiss Army knife? I mean, they're good quality knives. How many tools does yours have?
8.
8?
6.
6? That's interesting. You guys know it right offhand. I mean, and so often, a Swiss Army knife at least has a knife, but often it has a knife, a screwdriver, a corkscrew, a Phillips head screwdriver, a nail filer, a fish filleter, a saw, scissors, tweezers, toothpick, etc. And so it has lots of different features. Okay. All right, number 4. Yes. Do you know it? Who's been to an auction? In an auction, if you like twitch, that's your bid. I've heard. I haven't been there, but according to movies. So at an auction, if you go like that, it's like, okay, $10,000. You're like, somebody else bid, please. I didn't really want that. So I kind of feel like that on game day sometimes. Like, was that a move? Okay, number 4.
Okay.
Yeah. The CD started.
Good job. Was that one of your questions? Okay. Number 5. Yes. Very good. It was B. Okay, number 6. Now, if you flinch, I'm gonna call on you. So I mean, it's gonna be like an auction. Like you go like this, I'm gonna, because it's gonna be binary, right? I'm either calling in or you're not. Okay, number 6. Okay, now let's read it. Okay, a data mart. Does it fit all of this? Daily operations. It does not participate in daily opera. I was going to say, wait a second. The data is used to create business intelligence. Applies to a specific area of organization. Very good. Hold on. Okay, well. Okay, number 7. B. Okay. Who was second? Oh, I hate this part of it. Naveen, did you see these ladies raise their hand first?
No, I didn't find it. I didn't know.
Okay, so Naveen, I'm gonna. What's the answer?
B.
Okay, yes, that is what they said. Okay, so Parsh. What's the answer? Okay.
That's my answer.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It is B. I'm sorry. My notes have C, and I'm sitting there going, I know it's not C, but sorry. I thought it was A and B, but no. Yes, it is B. Okay. Okay, duly noted. 1 point for your team. Okay. Yeah. So A could be considered correct. I would put B as much more correct, at least especially for the context of this class. And so if the question is worded, please choose, I'm looking for one answer. If it says select, that means one or more. Okay? So if this was a select, you could say, well, we did talk about business structure, so yes, the hierarchy and this. If I had to choose one, I would choose B. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, number 8. Oh yeah, I gotta go on you. A. Naveen.
B.
Okay, Lokesh.
B.
That's what Naveen says. Do you want to change it?
No, that's it.
Okay.
B.
Okay. Anybody else? Angie, there's bonus points at stake here, by the way, for the midterm.
How does this work?
You raise your hand, I call on you. If you get it wrong, you can't answer again. Okay, so we've heard A and B. Okay, so let's go through this. Is it D? No. Is it C. That one feels weird. There was a vote for A relational database schema used to hold measures and dimensions in a data mart. It could be A. Could it be B, a relational database schema used to hold different tables that are related by foreign keys? So a student submitted this, and I would say that it's both A and B, but the student that submitted it suggested it was just one of the two. Okay? So point for Dr. Carroll. If Dr. Carroll wins, that's not good.
So point for both the teams, right?
A and B.
All teams.
No, you didn't get it right.
No, we should be right.
should
It doesn't to select.
Okay, by the way, I run game day harder and more strict than the midterm, okay? So this one was not positioned well. You needed to know you wanted A and B. That's because it's game day, okay? I'm less malicious during a midterm, okay? So before your anxiety goes through the roof. Okay, number 9. Can I see a hand, Lokesh?
Yeah.
What is it?
Data mart.
It's Data Mart?
Yeah.
No, next. Who is next? It was one of you two. And I don't know who. You're biased. Naveen, did you raise your hand before these ladies? Naveen.
Cube.
Cube, correct. Okay, the answer is cube. Okay, by the way, your team has 4 points.
Our team has how many points?
3. When you get points, I'll shout it out. Okay, number 10. By the way, I think there's 51 questions. Okay, so. Okay, number 10. Harshanti? True. Okay. I mean, there are other circumstances of which it would go through a different route, but in general, that is true enough to. Okay, you have 4 points. Okay, number 11. Harshanti.
False, yes. Sorry, false. It is false.
False.
It is false.
No, they're raising their hand first and then they're thinking of the answer.
No.
Then it's
Well, I'm gonna go with that first answer.
False. No, it is false.
it's false.
Yes, but she said true first.
By mistake
No.
she said. It
She
is
said
false.
true, so the
No,
answer will
please.
be.
You have to
And so
consider.
the second hand raised by us, so it's
Actually,
Okay.
we get a
false
false.
All right, number 12. Okay, I need hands. Oh, you ready?
Who get the point or the point?
But there was no points for that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I don't want any tires slashed after this, okay? Just a little friendly competition. I think we've awoken the room. Maybe we should shut the door. This is good. This is good. Okay. Okay. It's not that many bonus points, by the way. I was thinking like 3 is what I was thinking, okay? So, okay, what are we on? Number 12? Naveen?
True.
Let me read the question. True. That it's true. Okay? So containers, that's one of the items that they hold them. Okay? There's sequence. Okay, number 13.
Sir, you got the point or not?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. You're at 5 points. Number 13. Lokesh,
B.
which is false, which is correct. Okay, so what does data cleansing do?
It removes unwanted data.
It removes inconsistencies from.
Okay, so inconsistencies or if there's missing data, because we need it in a good state to be able to present it for business intelligence. Was that your first point?
Yeah.
Yes? Do we have a, can anybody confirm or deny that statement? It's on video, so we could just, replay it.
It is their first point.
This was point.
I hope you all go out to lunch after this together and make up. Okay. Number 14. For Harsh? Oh, let me read it. Yes. Your team is at 2 points. $15. I saw it for Harsh. Okay. Do you see why I want, it's 3 points. Do you see why I want this online system so then we just rely on technology and Dr. Carroll's tires don't get slashed after this? Don't do that, please. Yes.
How come you answered this now?
Isn't the point how we what?
How we implement the system, like if you get to the top from a text file, it's not going to receive the top periodically.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the question was, don't we period? Will you state your question again? Sorry.
So the correct answer is A, right? Just B.
Yes, it does receive data periodically.
How we implement the system, like how you the commands, the source.
So I guess the question is the question focusing on periodically receiving data, or is it that it only receives data from an OLTP system? And so if the question was worded more strongly, that the data marts periodically receive data from only an OLTP system, then it would be false. But the focus here is on periodically receiving data.
Section, is it possible or not question, not is it the only way?
So, I mean, that is a limitation of asking questions in this manner, is that this is not the only solution. That is true, it does happen, but it is not the only way it's happening. The question is not worded such that it is constricting it to only be in this way. So I'm glad you understand that there are more than one way to populate a data mart. Okay? At least that's how I view writing test questions. Okay, number 16. Oh, I hate this part. I think it was Parsh.
Made it.
It is upper level.
It is upper level. That's how it was presented in class. Now, in a business class, you may feel like everybody should be taking the big view. Oh, I'm sorry. You're at 5 points. All right. Next question.
Extract, transform, load.
Say that again.
Extract, transform, load.
That is correct. Extract, transform, load. All right. Question number 18. Angie.
If a record is updated 5 times in a
No, you got to answer. 3, 2, 1. Naveen. Pass.
4.
That is not correct. Did you raise your hand?
Sir.
3,
1.
1, oh,
Latest current record.
Okay. So what's the principle here? What's the two types we have? We have net and all. So when we're talking about CDC, change data capture, we can either say, look, that's great, you have all these changes. I just want one change. Or no, I need to know every little nuance of what was changed. It depends on what you're dealing with. So the question is saying, what does net change mean when you have multiple changes to the same record over the same time period? So the answer is 1 row. 6. 19.
Yeah.
19. Bryce.
Package debugging.
Really good. I'm glad you read your email. 5. Any questions on that? So what does checkpoints do for us?
It will restart the package if you want.
So
Helps in restart.
you can, and depending on your environment and the complexity of what you're doing and how long it's going to take, you should plan on errors. You should plan on interruptions. Okay? If they're just a fact of life. And there are conditions in which will increase that. There are activities you try to do, for example, getting data over different types of networks. So checkpointing says, hey, at this point, this is a good state, and start from here and move forward. So you don't have to redo all the work. Okay, I gave you the point for that one. I gave you the point for that one. You're fine. Number 20. Just one.
Aggregate.
Aggregate is correct. Six. $21. Yes. Sure, harsh. What is it? Either one of you on the same team can help if you know it.
Cube structure.
Oh, you got to raise your hand, and just one was next.
Yeah.
So that may or may not be correct. Do you have an answer?
Cube structure and also the
No, I have to call on you. So I'm trying to go in order, which is why I really want this tool, okay? So don't answer until I call on you, or you're giving away the answer.
so it's cube structure.
It is cube structure.
Thank you.
Do you see how the game works?
yes.
So I have to call on you before you answer.
They know our answer.
Say what? So did you know it?
Yeah. What?
So we answered first,
Sir,
Professor.
they void the question, sir.
Yeah.
They void it because they told the answer.
Not
Then
void,
they
you
told
void
the-
it.
First
We-
of
we
all,
answered it
he
first.
is numbing himself like, I don't know.
No, I didn't say
Then,
it.
then the guys told the answer, then please void the
We got
question.
it first, Professor.
We are, in fact,
Yes.
we told the answer. We
But
are-
You answered it first.
You guys-
But I have to call on you to get the points.
They told the answer, but even they didn't answer.
But you feel like you have to tell the answer in just 2 or 3 seconds, but this guy take like
Yeah,
at least
so-
15 seconds. Just void the question, please.
But
So-
he didn't ask the next person. Did you get it?
Okay.
Yeah, the ladies got excited and
And
they
we
didn't
were
raise
the
their
first
hands,
ones
they
to
told
raise
the
the hand
answer.
also, Professor.
Okay, I am trying my best to determine who is first. So here's how we're going to play from here on out. You raise your hand. You have at most 3 seconds to answer. If you do not answer, I will call on the next team that I observed with the best of my abilities.
Yeah, but for this question, he didn't call the others first.
So,
Our
just
answer
void
is
it.
ours.
Just void
Okay.
it.
No, we
Eh.
can
It
void
takes like 10 to 15 seconds to answer it. After they told the answer, then we answered it.
Okay.
We answer. Even
The
their
void
answer
it.
becomes
No.
ours.
Yeah.
No, we can't void this.
All right, number 22.
Thank you, we're on 4.
Sir, do you graded that question?
I did. And they are at 2 points. Okay.
So, 3.
So 22?
All right, number 22.
23 first.
2 points.
Oh, for this question, 2 points.
Say what?
We were on 3 points.
We are on 3 points.
Number 22.
Number 22 now?
I could see that. Okay, number 22. Naveen?
Provides each level hierarchy as a separate dimension table.
That is correct. Provides each hierarchy level as a separate dimension table. This is in contrast to
Star scale.
which, what?
Star schema where we have all hierarchies, dimensions in a single.
Yep, a star schema. We have all of the hierarchy in one dimension. You're at 7.
Void and
23. Arshanti?
multidimensional.
That is accurate. Let me ask a new question. 23B.
Data mart.
Data Mart. Okay, thank you. So 7 points. Okay, 24. Naveen?
Both A.
Both A and B.
Both A and B. Okay.
They are not same right hand.
So does anybody know how to already implement that on a Linux server? My request for just.
Seeing which answer this question might know.
You just go and give the example. With the standing ovation.
How did you get the answer
Before us.
then? How did you get the answer?
Okay, 25. Naveen.
Option
Okay, next.
Should be C.
Next.
B.
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 Your team already answered.
It is
B. Anybody else?
It is D, Professor.
It is D.
Yeah, absolutely D.
Okay. So say you have two control classes, 1 and 2. 2 needs to be executed after 1, regardless of the outcome. Okay.
That's one.
So regardless of the outcome means
Completion.
whether it was successful or not, we cannot start task 2 before we start 1. And so then we need a blue or completion arrow from task 1 to task 2.
Yes.
Okay?
It is D. So how much does it have?
8. Okay, so this is a select question. A select question. Okay, 26.
Select time.
Praharsh?
Data, sir,
Data flow sources,
Which one?
transformation and data flow destination.
Okay, which one?
A, C, D.
A,
C and D.
C, and D? That is correct.
So 2 points for this.
You're at 6 points.
You wanna give man?
Thanks, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah.
27. Arshanti? 3, 2, 1. Naveen?
True.
Okay, she did say true just before I called on you. Okay? And it is. Oh, it's not. No, on true false, we're not going to the second place. Right? Okay, so why is it false? A tabular model in direct query mode must send queries to the cache memory storage for recently updated data information. So this is describing cached query mode, okay,
Yes.
and not direct query mode. Okay, so in cached queried query mode, we're going to a cache to get them. In direct, we're just going directly there and pulling it out. Okay, point for Dr. Carroll.
So like, in place of direct, if we have cache query mode, then like it's correct. Cache mode, that's all. We don't have a cache mode. We don't have cache query mode, only that query mode.
We don't have what?
Cache query mode. We do have that.
Yeah, we talked about both direct and cached. Okay.
Only cache mode.
Okay, 28. Prash?
Package.
Correct. It's a package. Okay. Seven. Okay, 29.
.NET C# code.
Correct. .NET language such as C# or Visual Basic. 9. 30.
XML.
Josh Swan.
XML or CVS text.
Okay, next. Vishnu. Do you have it?
Text files.
Harshanti?
CSV.
No. Next. Anybody else?
Multi-language. Hi.
You only get one shot.
I think it's raw data.
I think so too. Okay,
So
it's
raw data.
it's raw file format. Okay, 31.
Yeah, it's us.
True.
So what the question? They both raise their hands first and they are right. They are answering. This is
Okay,
See, please void the question.
we're going on to 32.
Yes.
I have to call on you before you answer. Okay, 32. Okay, Shir Harsh.
True.
Did I say his name wrong?
No, you don't.
Even her name is Harsha, right? So she's confused.
Yes. So, would you like me to distinguish names differently?
Okay.
How?
For first viewpoint.
Okay, so it is false.
Okay.
Okay, the flow path from a data source to a data destination is not called a data flow.
It is true, right, Professor? How come it is false?
Because when I am reading the textbook,
It is data flow part, which is absolutely right.
see, librarian I've also extended there.
It seems like there's a different name for the flow from a data source to destination, and I am skipping out. So, if Sriharsh wants to email me the correct answer, I'm willing to reverse such decision. Okay,
Harsha?
Sriharsh.
Three Harsha.
Okay. Okay, 33.
Is the time?
Yes.
How much time from OLTP to data mart, in how many days the data is flowing? How much time it is taking for flowing the data? Which is
Okay.
data.
From the time of the transaction to its loading. Okay.
Flowing the data from the lower level to upper level or something. No, no.
You would like to submit a different answer?
No, it is OLTP.
Shri Harsh.
Yeah, the more accurate answer.
So I'm going to count that, but I'd like to hear this more accurate answer.
The time it takes for data packets to be restored or retrieved.
No, it is from OLTP to data mart. How
But
much?
let,
That is
let
more
Dr.
appropriate.
Carol listen my answer first.
Angie?
Mainly this deals with the decision makers and how long it takes
Is the time it takes
for the
from-
information to get to them and how long it takes them to, as far as I know, how long it takes the latency between the decision making and the receival of the data.
Yes, and so it deals with how old is your data that you're looking at? Is it a month old? Is it hours old?
It's a year.
And so, okay.
Who
So,
got the point, Dr. Carol?
the ladies team.
I think our answer is better.
What's that point?
Now, I am not gonna disagree. Their answer was sufficient to earn a point.
Yes.
Okay, but it's accurate.
Okay, 34. Yes.
OLTP deals with day-to-day business transactions, whereas OLAP is for analysis, for doing analysis on the data mart data.
Okay.
So OLAP deals with SSAS, which is the difference. On OLTP is nothing but business intelligence data mart.
Okay. Let me repeat that in case it didn't pick up well on the mic. OLTP is online transactional processing, and that's going to be the day-to-day operations, whereas an OLAP is online analytical processing, and that's what we're going to use for a data mart and business intelligence and analytics. Okay. 11. Okay, 35. Just one?
True.
True.
Yeah.
9 points. $36. Lukesh?
False.
Correct. Okay. You're at 8. $37.
True.
Correct. True. $38. Lukesh?
Yes. True.
Correct. 10.
There are too many true or false.
True.
Very easy to guess. Sometimes you need to have some easy answer.
Okay. 39. Naveen?
True.
So why the laugh? Because I had a coin. It was worth a shot. Okay, what's the answer?
True.
It is false, Professor.
If it's wrong, then it will be why.
Okay, an aggregate stores the information necessary to connect to a database that provides data to the multidimensional model.
Which is a false one.
That is correct. It is false. Another point for Dr. Carroll.
It was right.
I said point for Dr. Carroll.
Yeah, that's good.
We can justify the answer also, Professor. Get the point.
Okay, number 40. Okay. Yes.
True.
Oh, sorry. Srihars.
True.
Correct. Okay. Do you know all the rules for identifiers?
Yes.
What?
Oh, I was asking the
It's
class.
just a
Yes,
random
yes.
question. I will just only answer for 40.
With the letter
Go ahead.
41. Is this even possible? Is this a trick question? Just one.
I think
By using the schema name or the database name.
Without calling it.
And how do we do that?
There's the answer.
How do we do that?
So if two different variables are having the same name, we can use the table name dot the variable name.
I think you
If you, he didn't
So,
he didn't answer.
that's a column field,
I think it's a good answer.
but not. Yeah, it's a good answer, but it's not correct.
Variables.
So the question is dealing with variables, though. Okay, so do you have an?
The package name double colon where
So
variables.
now it's his answer.
Okay.
It's his answer.
Yes, double colon.
No, so he said table dot, which is a different way to distinguish. If you had employee ID in multiple tables, then you need to be able to say the table name dot and then employee ID. But if you have two different variables that you need to distinguish, you need the resolution operator, which is colon colon.
Professor, we got a point. Right?
12. The, 42. I'm gonna flip a coin. Shri Harsh.
True.
True. Okay.
Where are we standing at in points? 7 or 8?
6.
No problem.
43. I was about ready to call on somebody. Okay. 43. For Harsh.
3, 2,
Okay. Just want.
D.
Professor, it is all the above.
It is D. All of the above. Okay.
Sir, you have to void the question we answered before.
Why did you
And-
answer?
No, we were the
Shirash got
we
point.
were the very first ones to raise the hand, Professor.
Sir, before
and
Shirash
you
got
guys
point.
were answering.
Should I support now?
We were the first
Sir,
ones.
good point.
No.
Okay. 44.
You only told me the.
We really need some technology in this classroom today, too.
Sir, we got understand. That's it.
No, Professor.
Oh, I know.
Thank you, Professor.
Next time we'll set up a webcam, and then you can dispute. We can do an instant replay to see whose hand. We could get 2 webcams to get 2 different angles, and then you could submit a formal dispute.
Thank you.
Okay.
You have to void this question
Thank
twice.
you.
They are playing.
There is no question of
No,
why.
they are playing not correct.
44.
With the rules because they are sorting out the answer.
It's showing the answer without raising the hand.
Okay.
We can sort that.
The online students are just smiling, smiling, smiling. We're on 44.
So who got point?
B.
Dr. Carol.
Praharsh. Praharsh?
Sir, I will call the next person. It's a,
Harsh and T.
Green is success, red is failure.
Green is
it's only answer.
success.
Red is failure.
Red is failure.
Blue is completion.
Blue is completion. That is correct. 13. 45. Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, is this really that hard? Oh, sorry. I hit B instead of V. Okay. That was not intentional. Okay, 45. Praj.
Required. B.
B, required, correct. What does supported do? That is correct. You got the point. What does supported do?
One is already active, then it joins, but it will not initiate the transaction.
It will not initiate it, but if there's already one, it will join. $46. Praj.
C.
Correct. Okay.
How much we are on?
12. Can anybody name off other situations that require a data mart for
Dirty data,
just what?
dirty data,
Dirty data. Okay. What else? Just flat files and not databases. Any others?
There are 4 of them. We have some other situations where you couldn't load data directly, so you need to use data mart.
If you need to what? If you need to load the data directly?
So many sources and you can't load it directly online, then we need to take the data and make it a data.
Okay, so I think you understand it. Good job. So you don't always have to have a data mart. There are situations in which you do need to have a data mart.
Working on production database can be a reason, because you can't connect the production database real time.
Oh, okay. Another reason to have a data mart would be the data's in a production database and you don't want to slow it down with queries. Okay, so you just want to take the penalty to pull it, but not to the queries. Okay, thank you. Did we discuss that one in class? I'm not sure we did, but that is, we didn't, we might not have discussed it when we talked about required ones, but we did talk about that early on, of careful of the stress you put on your system. You can do it, and if you feel like you're going to have minimal load on it, then you may consider doing that. Okay, 47. Harsh.
Online B.
That is correct. Okay, 13. Okay, 48.
Lowest level of hierarchy. C.
You are the first ones to raise
No,
the hand.
now Karen will call us now. I think with raising
I in my. Okay.
Sorry, it's him. It's him.
Okay. Now I don't have the glare.
Sir, I think it's Nimit. It's Nimit, sir. It's Nimit.
Okay, we're gonna go on to the next question. I don't feel like there's a safe way out for me. What was the answer, class? It's C, lowest level. Okay. 49. This is where you answer. What is the task that we need to do?
Control view task.
Okay, raise your hand.
There's a little bit confusion in the answer.
No, which control flow task?
Who is that?
Is it retrieving the data? The task.
So this question needs a little bit of refinement. Can you submit an answer and a justification by raising your hand? Yes. What task?
I believe it is control flow task because at first we need to move the data from the third party DB in order to track the things.
So how are we going to move it from the third party data?
From third party DB, which is a source, we have to move to some temporary DB in order to review it.
So if it's a third party vendor, then it's probably, and I'm sure there's situations which this could be violated, but it's probably on an external server. So then what would,
Then you would need FTP.
then we need FTP. So the question needs to be more refined to guide and to limit options so that there's just one choice. Okay?
So we got a point.
Why?
Because we have told both the options.
So I'm effectively throwing that question out. While the question has merit, it needs to be refined a little bit to be properly used.
How many points are added?
You're at 13.
You said we were at 14 professor.
I do not recall saying that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right, number 50. Praharsh. 3, 2.
No, it is will.
What, Praharsh?
MOLAP.
That is not correct. Shaharsh, who was next?
Will preference.
Shaharsh, who was next? No, Shaharsh.
Next.
Who was next? Shaharsh, who was next? I'm going to have to bring in another professor next time to... you thought they were next. Okay, Jess, one.
CDC.
What is it?
CDC.
That is correct. Okay, last question. Harshanti.
Expressions.
Expressions is correct for the winning point. Okay. Okay, I will award bonus points. We get out in 4 minutes, so we will not start chapter 10 for 4 minutes, okay? So
We both are same place, right?